Most people don't waste their lives all at once. They waste them in tiny pieces. One postponed trip, one forgotten dream, one more year of saying, "I'll do it later." Rafiq had been saying those words for 35 years. For 35 years, Rafiq had opened other people's doors. House doors, shop doors, office doors, suitcase locks. He had even once opened a bathroom door for a man who had been stuck inside for 20 minutes. Rafiq could open almost anything, except one thing: his own life. People came to Rafiq whenever something was stuck. But there was one problem he couldn't fix with a screwdriver. For 30 years, he had been saying, "I'll travel someday," and somehow, someday kept getting older with him. Every morning he opened the shop. Every evening he closed it. Every year he promised himself, "Next year." He had promised it so many times that even his neighbor had stopped believing him. Then one afternoon, while searching through an old toolbox, Rafiq found something, a railway ticket. He stared at it, then turned it over. 20 years old. Same route. Same dream. Different excuse. Rafiq laughed. Not because it was funny, because he suddenly realized he had spent 20 years waiting for a day that was never going to arrive by itself. He folded the ticket, put it in his pocket, and went home. The next morning, something strange happened. Rafiq didn't make a plan for next year. He didn't calculate everything. He didn't wait for the perfect season. He simply packed a small suitcase and decided, "I'm going." His customers arrived that morning as usual. "Rafiq, buy my shop lock. Rafiq, buy my suitcase. Rafiq, buy emergency." Rafiq looked at them, then looked at his suitcase. For 35 years, he had been afraid to close that door. So he finally did. At the station, Rafiq stood on the platform and suddenly felt nervous. Not because the train was leaving, because he was actually going with it. Then the whistle blew. Rafiq smiled, picked up his suitcase, and stepped aboard. For the first 10 minutes, Rafiq said nothing. He simply watched. Buildings disappeared. Fields appeared. Then mountains. Then a river shining beneath the afternoon sun. Rafiq pressed his face closer to the window. A little boy across the aisle laughed. "Uncle, have you never seen a train before?" Rafiq grinned. "No, beta." He looked outside again. "I've just never seen my life from this window." By the second day, Rafiq had forgotten how to be serious. He tried street food. He took photographs with strangers. He boarded the wrong bus, got off at the wrong stop, and somehow ended up exactly where he wanted to be. That evening, Rafiq reached a mountain lake. The noise disappeared. The people disappeared. Even his phone stayed silent. For the first time in years, there was nothing he needed to fix. He just sat there and watched the sun disappear. And that's when Rafiq finally understood. He hadn't needed more money. He hadn't needed more time. He hadn't even needed a perfect plan. Weeks later, Rafiq came home. His shop was exactly where he had left it. Same keys, same drawers, same broken clock, but Rafiq had changed. He painted the walls, pinned his travel photographs everywhere, and above the counter, he placed a new sign. One afternoon, a young customer watched Rafiq studying his railway map. "Uncle," he asked, "where should I go first?" Rafiq looked at him, smiled, and pointed toward the station. "Anywhere you've been saying someday about." Rafiq still repairs locks. He still opens doors. But now, whenever someone tells him, "I'll do it someday," he smiles. Because he knows what someday can become. A year. 10 years. A lifetime. So if there's something you've been waiting to do, don't wait for your life to become perfect. Make the call. Take the trip. Learn the thing. Start the dream. Because your life isn't waiting for the perfect moment. It's waiting for you to begin. You don't need a new life. You need the courage to finally start living the life you've been postponing.